welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. This is our bi-weekly chat, our Sunday chat, and this is meant to update the channel and tell you guys of upcoming games, also kind of show some of the projects that maybe I didn't finish during the week. All of that stuff is done here in our bi-weekly chat.
That's
we
right.
also do most of our unboxings here.
Right, yes.
So, this week we have quite a few things we want to show you guys.
Well, first, welcome new subscribers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Welcome new subscribers.
Welcome, and thank you all subscribers for watching. We're at 294.
Almost 300. Wow. I never
Yes.
thought I'd get to 300
No,
subscribers. So.
No, but so thank you, all of you.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you to the ones who have subscribed. And then if you haven't, push that little subscribe button, you know, and join the ride with us.
Well, we have a few things to show you, but before I even start to talk, there are a couple of shout outs that I want to do. There is that famous saying that says, we all stand in these shoulders of geniuses, right? There's that famous saying that goes around. Well, I want to give some credit to some of the people that have inspired me, influenced some of my ideas and some of my builds.
That's nice.
First and foremost, a shout out to On the Tabletop. I believe that is their new title. They used to be known as Beasts of War. Beast of War has been instrumental in inspiring a lot of my gaming, right? They're so full of energy, not were, because they still are. They're so full of energy and all the news that they give and everything, right?
And not only did they inspire you, but I just realized that they inspired me, because that is what drew me into all of this.
Right, yeah.
Remember?
We used to watch a lot of Beasts of War together.
Every day, yeah.
So shout out to those guys. Thank you guys for inspiring all the energy and everything that really
absolutely.
kind of helped us, you know, throughout our wargaming career.
Absolutely.
Next is for Sculpting Tom Mason. Tom Mason has he has his work on YouTube. He is a professional sculptor. He was really instrumental in inspiring my armature making in the beginning, right? And I always loved his videos, and he would also sculpted some of the stuff for Mercs, the tabletop game Mercs, and I just love his stuff. It's great. And he has a YouTube channel where he's always encouraging people to sculpture. So thank you, Tom Mason, for putting your stuff on YouTube and actually teaching us how you sculpture. He's done a lot of stuff, so check his stuff out if you have the chance. And last but not least is a YouTuber called Narb. Now, this came to mind because one of our subscribers actually mentioned Narb in one of the comments when we were building the sci-fi, when I was building this sci-fi stuff. Narb has really inspired me in a lot of his builds. He's great. So if you haven't heard of him, he's very popular. But if you haven't heard of him, check him out. Narb Builds. He does amazing stuff.
Awesome.
So thank you, Narb, for putting your stuff out there and for a lot of the inspiration that you've given. Obviously, in all this stuff, I add my own kind of style, right? But I think it's important to give credit to those original ideas that inspired you to move you forward.
It's not just the idea, but the person.
Yes.
That inspires you.
Yes.
So, absolutely. Yeah.
So, thank you, Narb, for putting your stuff on YouTube. You're a great builder, and I love your stuff. And definitely someone that I want to give a shout out to. So
that's great.
All right, well, let's continue. Let's go on to today's talk.
We have a lot of games to talk about.
Yes, we do.
A few.
Right.
So let's start with Oathmark.
Oathmark! Oh man, what a game! Oh wow! So our
Yes,
last
it was
game.
Mhm.
Yep. Go ahead.
I don't know, just to see it was a good game. Yeah.
Yeah. We are talking specifically about the epilogue of the cavern scenario. That was our last upload. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about that game? I mean,
I actually, in the beginning, it was confusing because it was different. The scenario made the deployment different, right? So, we were both like super confused,
right?
But once we got into it, I didn't think that I would like deploying that way, but I really did. So I thought it was awesome. I thought it was different. It was fun. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
And Julie's referring to a deployment strategy in the game that I guess what it's representing is the fact that units were lost in the caverns, and so they were popping out of different tunnels and different things, and so the scenario had, it was a little confusing at first, but I think we handled it well, and we did the best we could, and it was a lot of fun, right? So
no doubt, it was fun. And then of course having Steve for the second half always throws in a little extra.
Right, Steve!
A little extra fun from Steve.
Shout out to Steve. He is our third team member.
That's right.
This week he came out and helped out with quite a few things while he was here. So thank you, Steve.
Absolutely. Yep.
So before we continue to the next, what's going on with Oathmark? Well, I think that's the last game.
No, I'm sad.
In the online campaign. Now, it's going to restart again in June. And in June, there is a prize support from Osprey, which is very nice of Osprey. Thank you, Osprey, for doing that. And basically, all it's about is having fun. You know, it's not, you don't pay anything, you just register with them, and I will have the Facebook page here in the description, so you guys can check it out, and hopefully we will be a part of it this summer, and we will continue, and basically we just follow whatever they're doing for Oathmark, whatever military expedition, but there's no restrictions on terrain, on the kinds of models. It's just meant to have fun. Yeah. Right?
And it really was.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have their own narrative. It's called Battle for the Great East, and in it there are a couple of factions. People will choose what faction they want to be a part of. Either the People's Front of Etana or the EPF. People's Front of Etana. Julie is part of the People's Front of Etana. I am part of the EPF, or basically the opposite. The Etana's People's Front. I call it the EPF, to make it really different. And basically, we just play. We play our games, and then we report at the end of our games.
And they add up.
And they add everything up, and they have all these graphs and all these cool things. And the People's Front of Etana is way ahead. I mean, they won 7 out of the 10 games that were...
And that was before this last one.
Before this last one, yeah. I saw that post. So People's Front of Etana, they were doing great, and they had something like 3,000, over 3,000 kill points.
Wow.
We had, I think it was less than 1,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll have to check the numbers, but we were well behind. So it just gives your Oathmark games a lot of interest, you know.
It's kind of I don't want to say a purpose, but when you're playing it, there's another reason than just to have fun with that game. You're playing it, and it's like, when they add everything else into it, it makes it different.
Right. Yeah. And there is someone there. I'm going to actually ask them for permission so I can read some of the narrative that he made up for Oathmark for this online campaign. And once he gives us the go, we'll read some excerpts from that narrative so you guys have an idea of what the campaign's all about.
Yeah.
So basically, Julie's team, whoever they are, and there's a few of them, they're way in the lead. So we'll see what happens in June.
Yes, it's going to be so fun.
Right. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait. More people can join too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They will be looking for more people, so I will be posting the Facebook group in the description. Check them out. And register. Register your kingdoms.
Yes. And our advice is do it. Yes,
have fun. Do it.
Fun.
More people, the better. And there will be prize support from Osprey, as far as we know. We don't know. You know, things can change at any time, but we will report if things change. But thanks to Osprey.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's awesome.
We just want to play some oathmark and make it part. You know, with this COVID stuff, COVID has wreaked havoc on everything. So wargamers can't get out to their clubs. We play online. That's all it is. So, and thank you to the coordinators of that event for inviting us.
Yes.
And from now on, we're gonna have, until further notice, we will go back to our old oathmark programming until further notice.
Right.
So. And it really it helped us to practice those rules.
Yeah.
Everything else, so great.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Check it out, guys. If you have the chance, check it out, sincerely. And come on board. Let's all join the fun.
Yeah, the more the merrier, right?
It'll be great. And I love to see those graphs and everything that they report, you know, when you do your forms, that you report your kill points to them. There is a little tab there. You can click on it and you can see all the graphs and everything of the game. It's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah, really fun. Definitely.
All right.
Okay, so next up, let's see. 5 parsecs.
5 parsecs from home. Oh, I love that game. The 3rd edition 5 parsecs is out there. I have problems getting it because it has sold out.
That's crazy.
I'm glad to see that. This is a game that deserves it. It's a great game. We are going to play 5 parsecs next week. I'm going to be playing one of the solo games, and I hope to include Julie in the game. Maybe she can make her own crew, and we could either play it co-op, or we can play it where I'm the bad guy and she's her crew, and we play it player versus player. Where 5 parsecs shines the most is as a solo war game. So I am going to be playing it next week. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming. There's another battle report coming. So for you, those of you guys that are fans, it's coming this week. I just don't know when.
Right. Good. That's good.
Okay.
Ships.
Starships. Well, this is interesting because I started a project last week, which I've been very busy with.
Yes.
You know it.
Yes, you have.
I've been working very hard on it, and it's my Stargrave platforms, sci-fi platforms, and starships.
And they're so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So I have a couple of junk builds. Check out this new junk build that I have, this new starship from recycled materials. Let's go check this out right now. And this is the skeleton of the next ship I am building. Still needs a lot of work, and I will be using my clay as filler like I did with the first ship. That will help to complete some of the shapes and also eliminate some of the squariness. So again, this is the new ship that I'm building in its early stages. Going to continue into next week. I'm going to have a video or two as I progress on that build. Remember, guys, what I'm showing you now, it's the skeleton, basically. I still have a lot of work to do on it. So, but I think that's going to be Julie's ship. And it's going to contribute not just to Stargrave, but also to 5 parsecs. So all my sci-fi terrain that I made last week, all the platforms, 5 parsecs is also going to benefit. And basically any sci-fi game that we do, that's going to help our terrain collection. These starship builds, if you guys are interested in that, come over this week. I'll have a video up sometime in the week. I don't know when.
We have so many videos that we know we will do, but we don't know when exactly we'll do them and when exactly we'll upload them. So that, I'm just laughing.
Yeah, and I have medical appointments this week, and we have other stuff going on this week, so it will be up though, and you guys will see the progress.
Yeah, that was my point.
These Starship.
Yeah.
And that's Julie's Starship. There is a third one coming because there is some kind of hangar scenario in Stargrave. There's some kind of scenario that involves a hangar, so I want to have enough ships to represent that.
Terrific. And also, there's another one coming because Steve wants one. Right?
Steve wants his own starship. He saw the starships and he's like, I want one too. So yes, I will be building a third starship, and that's fine. It'll just add to the terrain collection, and we can all use them in different ways in the games.
Yeah. Well, Rangers of Shadowdeep.
Rangers. The update that I have for Rangers is that we were hoping to play some Rangers of Shadowdeep next week.
Yes.
I started playing Rangers of Shadowdeep, and then we went co-op with Julie. Julie really liked the game, right?
I did, yeah.
And that was the last game we played was the Infected Trees. I want to do the next game. Our gaming schedule next week, we have a couple of games planned. And I'm going to try to squeeze in a Rangers of Shadowdeep.
That would be great.
Depending on how the week goes, we really want to squeeze in a co-op Rangers.
That would be fun.
Rangers is an awesome game. Rangers of Shadowdeep is just awesome.
Good.
So
yeah, it is. I really like it.
And this, of course, is by Joseph McCullough, and we love all of his games. So
for sure. Well, part of that though, the terrain are my walls, right? No.
Yes, your walls. Let's go check out Julie's walls. She finally finished them. Let's go check them out now. And then I have a little bit of information for you guys about that.
Finally finished them? Well, what are you saying?
Okay, so here are Julie's walls. She actually made these. So good job, Julie.
Thank you.
And Julie, you added the flock. Right? And I just showed you the technique that I use, and you took off with it. So it's pretty cool. This one has the little skulls.
Right.
And the little helmet there that I got to paint.
That was not me. You did that, but that's okay. I did everything else.
Yep. You did all the painting. And I'm going to paint those skulls and that helmet. And there's it. Now, for you, those of you guys that are wondering, this... I wanted to show this with Julie's terrain because it looked really cool.
It does look really cool.
These are tiles that I made many years ago with soft foam. Now, we were talking about Narb and his channel and all the stuff that he does with this kind of foam.
I see.
I actually made my own tiles many years ago.
I know, we have a whole stack.
Yeah, I have a whole stack of these things. So if you guys are interested in these tiles, they definitely have advantages and disadvantages. This is something that I did. If you're interested, I will make a short video and show you all the different boards that I made with these tiles.
Yeah, so leave a comment down
below. Leave the comments, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll definitely show how I made those. I may be making some more. But I wanted to use this as the sort of display for Julie's walls.
I love it. It's a perfect display for them, actually, too. It really those were the walls that I did trying, right?
Good. So, well, I'm glad you worked on those things.
I'm glad too. Well, I really had a good time.
Yeah,
it was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Let's see here, Titanicus.
Titanicus. Well, the update I have for that is Steve, our third team member, he actually worked on the Titanicus models. Check that out. And so Steve was here building, and I think I'm going to let him build because he had a lot of fun with that. And so he can start building the Titanicus models, and that'll free me up for other things.
Yeah.
Now I may build one of the bigger Reaver Titans or whatever it is, but I'm also looking to magnetize those models.
I think that's a great idea.
So that I can use the different weapons, right? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Steve is definitely... I think that's become his thing. So I'm going to let him build.
He was having fun.
Yeah, he was having fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him build, and it really helps us a lot.
Oh, it does.
So.
Well, for sure, because I can't do it with my hands.
Right.
It would be impossible. So having him to help you is awesome.
It's great stuff. So thank you, Steve. Third team member.
Let's see. Stargrave.
Stargrave. Oh, man. Stargrave actually activates on my Kindle probably this week. So we are going to have some kind of rule overview.
For sure.
I'm sure everybody in YouTube is going to be
everyone, it's
people have already been playing Stargrave, those that have received the rules and whatever.
I wish that we could have done
that. But we will look at Stargrave, do our own little thing on Stargrave. We are kind of planning our crew. What do you think your crew will be like? Will it be a pirate crew? Will it be something else?
Well, like, what are my options?
Well, we'll have to look at the rule book.
I don't know yet.
Pirates, bounty hunters.
That's pretty good too.
You know.
I don't know. Yeah, I like all of it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. So excited. So we are going to do something this week on Stargrave.
Yeah, as soon as it clicks in, as soon as it activates in my Kindle, which is for me is supposed to be like the 29th of April.
It's soon. It's 4 days.
Yeah. And then it's going to activate on my Kindle, and they're pretty good about that. So then I'll be able to do something. We're going to dive right into Stargrave. So I have to get my terrain ready, our crews. We have to have painted figures and everything else. And we're going to dive right into So we might do something towards the end of the week for Stargrave.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know the schedule of this week. Anything can happen. But as far as playing the game, we will probably, as soon as I look over the rules, go over it with Julie, then we can start having our own little battle reports. So
maybe the end of the week, maybe the beginning of next week.
Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. Give us the time to really...
But keep your eyes open.
Yep. It's coming, that's for sure.
Deep Wars.
Deep Wars!
Woo!
We do have a couple of subscribers that like Deep Wars, and I'm very glad to hear that.
I'm with them on it.
Yep. We really like Deep Wars. One of the things that I love about Deep Wars is the fact that the game takes into account depth. So you have the vertical and the horizontal.
That
it's
is
a very
cool.
3D,
that's exactly what it's like.
Right. It's a 3D rule set. And I love that about Deep Wars.
Me too.
The other thing I really like about Deep Wars is the fact that you can make like wild creatures like fish schools, sharks.
Yeah.
You can do all these kinds of things.
Cool. And they do things.
And they do things in the game because you have deep callers, which are kind of a faction in Deep Wars. And they can actually control the wild creatures.
That was so fun because I did that.
Yes, and actually add them to your war bands. That's such a cool thing.
So fun.
And the shamans.
Yes.
The shamans can also do things with these wild creatures. So I can have a fish school hovering around the board, and these shamans or deep callers can actually use them. You know, bring them towards them so they can take cover.
I did that too.
Yeah, I think we did that in the last game.
Definitely. I remember doing that. That was awesome.
So here are some of the things that I have going on for Deep Wars. So this is a giant isopod for the game Deep Wars. This can be used in other games as well. And I'm going to be painting that little fork thing that I used for the stand. Notice I also sculptured the bottom. Now, how did I make this isopod for Deep Wars? Well, I used these old spider rings. All right, I cut this up, cut out the ring, cut up the legs, and what I do is I actually put both spiders together like that and sculpted over the two spiders to make the isopod.
Such a great idea.
So in Deep Wars, you have a variety of habitats, and one of them is like these macro algae forests, right? So some like giant algae that grows and actually blocks line of sight because it's so thick. So I made this piece of terrain to go with our Deep Wars terrain to change things up. And it even has a giant clam that I made.
That is cool. Can I see that, please?
And I made that out of two seashells. I found the halves, glued them together, and you have a giant clam.
That is so cool.
So the way I do this is with rope. And you take the rope, and I use a comb to separate all the filaments. I use a little bit of wire, floral wire, which then I tie my clumps up together, and I glue it to a piece of cardboard, and then I texture that cardboard with hot glue. And Julie is going to learn how to make algae terrain. She's going to help me make a little bit more of this terrain. Here is all of the algae bed that I have, and I made this by cutting up plastic bottles. And I used some hot glue and my heat gun to get these things shaped. And that's how I make my algae. So
that's great. I can't wait. I'll be doing that this week.
Yep. So that's what those little isopods that I made, those
so
giant
cool.
isopods.
Oh my
right?
God, they're so. It looks like a real bug. I swear to God, when I first saw it, I thought it was a bug. I really did. Yeah.
And that was all done with those Dollar Tree spiders. The other thing that I made for Deep Wars, but they could also function in other games.
I think you're done with it now, right? The Hydra?
Yes, the Hydra! Let's check out the Hydra! And here is the Hydra sculpture. Now, I started painting this. For those of you guys that have been following my channel, you know that I sculpture. I make my own figures. And this is the Hydra. And these are the colors that I chose.
I love the colors.
Yeah.
I really, really love the colors. You chose perfect colors.
And there is some mouth detail in there.
That's awesome.
Okay. I still have to do some painting.
At the tongues.
The little tongues. And I do have to decorate the base more. I'm going to add more skulls. I may sculpture my own skulls. Right? Yeah. And add a little bit more like debris.
Good. It looks really, really nice like that too. It looks really good, but skulls will make it better.
I think it needs a little more decoration.
Okay.
And then, but this is it. A few more touch-ups, a few more highlights. And this was made from green stuff and super sculpting.
Okay.
And each of these little spines has a little wire in it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah. You've been working on it for a while, but it's just so awesome.
The horns also have wires in them, so they're very strong. And so do the tongues. They have little wires in them. So there it is, folks. You will see this sculpture in action in either Julie's army or my army.
Hope so.
We're going to have an interesting little sculpting session going on this week. And I'm not going to reveal that sculpture yet. I'm going to wait till this week. It's kind of a conversion / sculpture. You guys will see it this week.
We have a lot of things coming.
We have a lot of things coming. Yeah, a lot of ideas.
So stay tuned, folks. Because,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so next week, what are we doing this week?
Well, this week we're very busy. Basically wrapping up my sci-fi terrain, my sci-fi platform, because Stargrave is just like a few days away. Okay, so we're going to be finishing that. I will also be painting miniatures. So it is important that whatever terrain you can work on in the studio, that'll free me up so I can paint some of the sci-fi figures that we will need for Stargrave. Julie's gonna be busy too.
Yes, that's okay.
And then of course wrapping up some of these projects, some of the Deep Wars things I want to wrap up, and I will have a couple of small sculptures that are also going to be part of the repertoire for next week. Some sculptures I think you'll find interesting. Good. I really do.
Good,
guys. So come check us out.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, absolutely. So this week, we're playing 2 games, right? At least 2. We're gonna play Deep Wars.
Deep Wars, definitely.
And we're gonna play Uncharted Seas, right?
Hopefully, try a game of Uncharted Seas. Hopefully, I will have at least one ship built by the time we play Uncharted Seas. But if not, we'll play with the regular models that I have for the different factions.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So either way, we'll try to get a game in.
And then we hope to have an extra game, right? A 3rd game. But it depends on whether Steve is available, because we would like to do Dragon Rampant. Play Dragon Rampant. So it's up to Steve, I guess. So Steve, I'm sure you're watching this, or you better be watching this. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. Let me know when you're available this week. Thanks.
That will be a new face, and of course Steve is our 3rd team member, and you know, you guys have just begun to kind of get to know him, but he is interested. We got him interested in the wargaming that we do, and so I think the best thing for him would be to learn Dragon Rampant. It's a very simple entry into wargaming.
Sure.
And he's also interested in learning Titanicus.
Yeah, he's really interested in learning Titanicus. He's interested in
Titanicus. He liked the whole idea of the massive giant machines blowing everything up. But this week, if we can get Steve to come in, he will be a new wargamer, a new face, a new opponent for Julie. And that will be great.
It will.
I think so.
It'll switch things up a bit.
Yeah, switch things up.
Fun.
Bring a new face to the channel. That would be good.
It'll be good.
Let's see if that happens. He is busy, so we'll see. If we can get a 3rd game in this week, then great. If not, it'll happen the following week.
For sure. Well, you know what? That's it.
And it looks like that's all we have for you folks. Again, welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for coming aboard. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you guys, and everyone is just great. And I hope that those comments will continue.
Absolutely. Tell us what you think about the video. Tell us what you think about anything. You have ideas or suggestions or.
Very busy week ahead. We hope that you like the content that we will be including this week.
Yes.
Have a good one, guys, and we'll talk very soon. And Admiral Yoda is somewhere around.
Yeah. I don't know. He must be taking a nap somewhere.
He's the studio manager. Admiral Yoda. Check him out. All right, folks. Have a great one.
Take care.
Bye now.